consultation protocol. And so we'll just go ahead and start like that. It's going to delay me just a little bit because I'm going to keep going back and forth, but we'll start. Okay, I need for you to put your puppy on a mat. And they can sit or lay. And we'll go ahead and start. I'll say sit even though they're laying, okay? Sit for 5 seconds. And treat your puppy. This is not a mark and reward, it's just treating. Sit for 10 seconds. And treat your puppy. You're going to clap loudly twice and treat your puppy. And you're going to walk halfway around and back and treat your puppy. And you're going to look over your shoulder and say, just a minute, and treat your puppy. And they're going to sit for 5 seconds and treat your puppy. And you're going to march in place and treat your puppy. And you're going to count out loud to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and treat your puppy. And you're going to touch your knees and just kind of hit them and treat your puppy. And you're going to try and walk all the way around your puppy and treat your puppy. And you're going to shout, Yahoo, Yahoo, and treat your puppy. And you're going to pretend to tie your shoe and treat your puppy. And you're going to walk to a door or a wall, whatever's closest, and knock 2 times and back and treat your puppy. And you're going to sit for 5 seconds and treat your puppy. And you're going to sit for 10 seconds and treat your puppy. And you're going to release your puppy, say okay, and jackpot them. Jackpot means you give them several treats. Okay, good job. Good job. Let's do you first. Randy, we got 4 dogs out here.
He's not doing his job.
I did say okay. Sorry. Okay. We're going to go on with Ispy. This is where if you have your cotton ball, we're going to use the cotton ball just to touch the puppy. If you don't worry about it. You can just, use your hand. I spy the puppy's back. And this is a mark and reward. Yes. And I'm going to use the left hand this time. Even you normally use the right, but it's too much switching around. Okay. I spy your puppy's collar. Yes. 2, 1 be done. Okay, fine. I spy your puppy's chin. Yes. All right, Lily. I spy your puppy's beans. That means their paw, the brown part. Yes. All right. I spy your puppy's tail. Yes. I spy your puppy's belly. Yes. Yes. I spy your puppy's lip. Yes. And this is really good if you think about if you go to the vet, they do have cotton balls that are kind of going around your puppy. I spy your puppy's tooth. Yes. Oh, good boy. Yes. I spy your puppy's nail. Yes. Yes. I spy the tip of your puppy's tail. Yes. Yes. And we're all done. Good job. Release your puppy. Okay. And you can give them, oh God, jackpot with two dogs at the same time. It's not the best thing. Okay, Lily. Lily, go see dad. Come on. Good boy, girl. Come here, Lasso. All right, we're going to work a little bit on rear end awareness. Go on. Go on. Sorry. There you are. Okay. Um, these are spins. We're going to be doing them clockwise and counterclockwise. I just use a piece of kibble, and Lasso hasn't done a lot of this. I'm not sure how he'll do, but we'll find out. But we're just going to try and get him to move around. Good boy. Yes. And then I'm going to reverse it the other way. Lasso, this way. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. And just go back and forth with your puppy. This way. Yes. There is no cue on this. Um, so you're just really working on that back end, loosening it up. Okay. All right. We also are going to try walking in and out of a box. Again, this Lasso doesn't have a lot of practice in this, but we'll try it. You can start out with one box. If you see these, they're about 2 inches tall, and I have a pretty tiny puppy. You can try a little bit bigger with bigger puppies, but I honestly would try starting them out smaller. So we'll start with one with Lasso.
Mhm.
And I'm going to try and put him on lead. Good boy. Yes. Oh, what a good boy you are. And let's see if he will go in. Come on. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yes. So he just put his feet in. That's all he did. I'm going to go ahead and try a lure. Here, buddy. Come on. Yes. Good boy. Yes. And I'm going to do this several times because he wasn't real crazy about it. Yes. If he wouldn't have gone in at all and he just looked at it or sniffed, I would have marked and rewarded that. I'm going to see if he'll come out of it. He may not. Oh, yes. What a good boy. Very nice. So I would build on this and bring him in and out of one box and then add a second box. Okay. Are we good?
Mhm. Everyone's looking
Okay.
good.
All right. The next thing we're going to use is a hula hoop. So if you have your hula hoop, great. If you don't, that's okay. You can use like a lead and put it in a circle and just get them used to going in and out of there. So we'll try this on the floor. Here, Lasso. Same thing. Let's just see if he'll walk in. Good boy. Yes. Very nice. Oh, you're such a good puppy. See, he's kind of going around the side. He's not crazy about it. Here, Lasso. I'm going to use a little collar cue. Yes. Good boy. Very nice. Come back this way. Yes. Good job. So that's just kind of fun to do. I'm going to go ahead and lift the hula hoop up. If you're using a lead, obviously you won't be able to do this, but at least you'll be able to see this. This gives them a different perspective. They're still going over the same height, but there's stuff around him, right? So we'll see what he does. I'm gonna use his collar cues. Yes, good boy. Good job. Yes. Baby puppies take a second to eat. They're so funny. And jump, 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 jump. And try again. Yes. Okay. Good boy. Now I'm going to try and lift it up off the floor just a little bit. So it's a little different. Yes. A little harder for him. So I may just keeping it on the floor for a while until he gets more used to it. And then maybe I'll lift it up a little bit for him. Let's go, Lasso. Good boy. Yes. Yay for hula hoops. Then you can add more hula hoops. As you collect hula hoops this summer at garage sales, they used to be pretty abundant, and all of a sudden I can't find them. So, I just would keep a lookout for those. Okay. All right. I also have a ladder that a friend made. You can use like broomsticks and put them, make sure you can see this okay. Here we go. Hang on, Lasso. Matt? Yes. Good boy. My ladder fell apart. Hang on a second. There we go. So we're going to start out on the lowest height. Again, it's very similar to the hula hoop height. And I'm just going to try and get him in and out of each of these squares, just however he's comfortable. If you have a broomstick and you lay it across, you can do the same thing with the broomstick. Come here, buddy. You can add another broomstick as they get more comfortable with it. Let's just see how he does. I'm going to use collar cues again. Let's go. Oh, what a good boy. Yes. Nice job, buddy. Good job. And we're going to go ahead and walk back. Yes. As he gets more comfortable with this, I'll flip it over where it's a lot higher and see how he does with that. If it's too big of a height here, in my opinion, oh, he likes it. There you go. Good job. Yes. I would probably just lift it with a book so that, on each end, so that it's all even. And that way it's not too high, maybe like a coloring book to start out with. So that's a ladder. That's a lot of fun. Again, this is all part of, the rear end awareness, helping them with steps. Okay, buddy. Can you go to your mat? Here, buddy. That's it. Good boy. Good boy, Lasso. All right, get this out of the way. Well, what happened? Listen, come on, try again. There you go. Yes. Okay. All right, now we're going to work on duration of some cues. So we're going to do a sit, a down, and a stand. Lasso, again, is 11 weeks old, so I'm going to be luring him. Once he learns that down and stand by command, he doesn't know it yet, then I would start giving him a treat probably every second, and then continue that until he's got 5 seconds. And then, we're trying to get that duration to keep expanding. So we're going to do a treat or piece of kibble. Can you guys see me okay?
Yep.
All right. Now I'm going to tell you 5 seconds. He may not be able to do that, but that's okay. All right. If you have your puppy, go ahead and put him in a sit. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Let's go ahead and do that one again. And sit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if your puppy's able to do this at 5 seconds, I would treat that. You don't have to say yes. You just treat them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. That's a good job. Okay. Now that's probably worn him out. So we're going to go ahead and expand it to 10 seconds. If your puppy can do it for 5, go ahead and treat them at 5. If they need it at 3, treat them at 3 and keep seeing if they'll hold on to that. Sit, stand, or down. Okay, ready? And sit your puppy. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down your puppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And stand your puppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very nice. Good job. Very nice. Good job. All right, now we're going to shoot for 15. If you can only do 10, that's okay. If you can only do 5, that's okay. We can do 1, that's okay. But it's, again, you're building on this. Okay, so sit your puppy and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And down your puppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And stand your puppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Wow, lasso. You rocked that. I don't know if you were able to see it. You probably couldn't because you're working with your puppy, but Lasso was starting to get the hang of it. And once he went down, I went ahead and treated him. And every 5 seconds, I was giving him a piece of kibble. And he did it. So, that's pretty amazing. You're an amazing puppy. Yeah. Okay. Try this in different areas of the house. You might start out in the room they're most familiar with, and go to the bedroom, and then go to the porch, then go outside. See, it might be a big difference when you go outside. And even the back porch versus the driveway where there's traffic, that's going to make a difference. So just keep that in mind when you're working your puppy. One thing I did want to mention was when you're out and about with your puppy and say you're talking with somebody, a lot of puppies will default into a sit or a down. So try and see if you can keep your puppy in a stand. If they're in a heel position and you're talking, the same thing. You're just going to continue to treat them every 5 seconds, whatever your puppy needs. If they're going down in 2 seconds and okay, I need to treat more often, or if they're able to lengthen it out, that's okay too. But don't try to rush that lengthening out. Take your time with them, and make sure you always end on a positive note. Hey.
Good job, guys. Everybody did really good today. I noticed some people struggle getting their puppy to stand because they might not quite understand the cue yet. So one way to teach stand is whether they're sitting or in a down position. You can take a piece of kibble, put it right in front of their nose, and then just kind of lure them to stand, and they'll naturally stand because they're going to want to step forward to get the kibble. And once they do, go ahead and do that. So that's the way you teach stand for puppies when they're first learning. I know some of our little ones, they're definitely not going to know. So you definitely have to lure them. So if that's something that your puppy struggles with or doesn't know stand, that's perfect way to start teaching them how to do it. Don't use the cue stand. Just do the lure first and then eventually get rid of the lure and then start adding the cue before you drop that lure so they understand what stand means. Okay.
One thing that I noticed with lasso, he would not go down. He would not go into a down. And so what I ended up doing was I sat on the floor like this and had him come underneath me. So,
Okay.
you know, let's see if he'll do it. Thank you. Right here. There we go. And that seems to help. Okay. Good boy. My knees don't bend like they used to, you guys.
I would need something to stand up. Does anyone have any questions or anything about what we've gone over today? I have everybody muted, so you can either write it in the chat or you can unmute and ask a question.
At least you have carpet to kneel on. I've got all tile, so I gotta find some pads or knee pads or something. That works really well, it looks like.
Oh yeah, definitely. It definitely works with the little ones. Okay. So my next thing is since Pam, are you done? I don't want to like cut you off. I think she is. I think we lost. Oh no, there she is. You have no sound, Pam.
I muted myself. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. I didn't want to like keep going if you had other
No, I'm
stuff to
good.
do. Okay, perfect. So basically, I've kind of, as you've been coming on, I've been asking if when we had time, was how you were doing with your puppy. I know I talked to Sherry about what's going on with Lucky. Pam, have you got anything? Nope, not you, other Pam, Blackowitz. Sorry. Pam, go ahead and unmute. And do you have any questions or concerns about Duchess? Did we lose her? There you go. You're unmuted. I think she froze. Can't hear you. You're
Can
frozen,
you
Pam.
hear me now?
Yeah, try
No.
again. Nope, you just muted yourself. Now you're unmuted. Now you're muted. Should be on the bottom left of the screen. You'll see a little microphone. You're going to want to click that. There you go. Now you're muted again.
Virtual is very challenging, you guys. It's not
Oh,
easy.
There you go. Yep,
you
you have
can't hear.
it. Nope, you just muted yourself again. You're unmuted.
It goes off.
I can hear you.
You're good, Pat.
Nope, I think she froze now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put Pat back on. I'm gonna put her on mute and then I'm gonna move to Zoe, Aaron and Zoe. How
Yeah,
is things going other than not wanting to do
it's been
anything?
interesting. It's been swimmingly until she went into heat, and she just like can't tolerate life. She's just a sad, sad little puppy. So she's just been laying around, and then she gets these like spasmodic like times where she just runs around and tries to like roll everything off, and I don't know.
Okay.
She's just a sad, sad puppy, and I think that
Yeah,
it will resolve once her heat cycle is sort of done. Um,
yeah. Are you leaving
I
her home every day?
I'm having to. I am coming home when I have time, at like lunch and things like that, and trying to take her out and when it's not raining buckets,
You know.
getting her out and trying to like play and, even if it's just walking around the yard now that I can get to grass. It's
Mhm.
not 3 feet of snow anymore.
Right.
Um, and trying to do some like um I've got like a different kind of slow feeder to just sort of give her some entertainment at dinner time.
Hmm.
One has like a spinny top on it, and and then the bottom is like different. I would put the water on it so it would kind of be just kind of engaging her in some of those games, but she's not real interested in anything,
And
unfortunately.
it's pretty typical once they're in heat.
Yeah.
How often does she have her panties off?
When she's in her crate, so when I'm at work,
Okay, perfect.
and so she's really only has them on when we're home and inside.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. In the crate, I was going to say definitely let her,
Oh,
breathe and lick herself,
yep,
clean herself and stuff. So
yep,
it gives them a break on that. Other than that, I'm sure once she is done with heat, she will be back to her normal self.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
So
cool.
a
All
temporary
right.
change.
Yeah, it is. It kind of sad, but all right. I'm gonna move on and I'll have you mute. And I'm going to go on to the McCurran family with Mavis.
Yeah.
How are things going with Mavis? Any questions, concerns?
We're doing pretty well. We're pretty sure she's starting to go into heat. She's been licking a lot.
Okay.
Um, and
Yeah.
she smells worse than normal.
Okay.
But her personality hasn't changed really.
Okay.
And we haven't noticed any discharge or anything around the
Okay.
house.
Okay.
We're sort of
Watch
like,
for a swollen vulva.
yeah,
That's usually a telltale sign too, but the licking is definitely a telltale sign. So just make sure you guys write the dates down that your puppy's going to heat
okay.
because leader dogs is going to need to know that
Sure.
when you take them in. So just write the start date down. Because sometimes when puppies first go into heat, they will have a split heat too. Sometimes they'll do like a week and then they're like fine, and then boom, here we have another one. Sometimes it's a little bit longer gap in between, so that's not uncommon. So just be
How long
prepared
does
for
it
that.
last?
Usually about 21 days.
Okay.
So once they start really showing the signs. So like Zoe, she kind of started when I had her when spring break was going on. So that was almost 2 weeks ago. So she's almost done. So, but sometimes they will bleed a little bit longer and stuff too and have the discharge. So
Okay.
Um, but usually 21 days is about the time. So,
Okay.
any other questions or concerns or anything?
I don't think so. I think everything else is going okay.
She's doing good.
Yeah. We were
Good,
concerned
good.
about her being really mouthy for a while, but the tip about putting toys by the door has been a game changer.
Okay,
Now, if you
good.
just say, go get your toy, she gets her toy and then she doesn't really mouth you. So that's been great.
Perfect.
Um,
Great.
Kicked her off the couch and she is not getting really up on the couch anymore. So that's a good thing.
Good, good.
Yeah. So we're doing all right.
Good to hear. Awesome. All right. I will put you guys back on mute and we're going to go to Audrey. How are you and Willow doing? Have you muted? You got to unmute.
That's
Sorry
weird. I
about
thought
that.
you unmuted me. Okay. Yeah. So I should be good
No,
now.
I can't.
Uh, we're doing pretty well. I would say the biggest challenge, I know I've texted Kim about this, is walks right now. So Willow started doing this thing probably a few weeks ago where, like, at least once per walk, she'll just stop, like,
Okay.
not want to move anymore. And even with a treat, and maybe it just needs to be like something higher value than kibble. Like even if I try to do the whole touch command, it's like just nothing. I think maybe it's that she doesn't like her gentle leader, which I love because it was a game changer in like the pulling. I could not get her so far. She's 7.5 months, I think. Could not get her to not pull. Like I was really struggling with walks and like taking her on outings and stuff. So gentle leader has been amazing. She does really well with it, except for again, like once or twice per walk, she'll just like plant. I have also noticed, and I don't know if it's related to this, that she seems really like averse to I don't want to say like storm drains, but it's like the covers, like the solid covers. Like one time I walked over one and it like kind of made a sound, and it seems like ever since then she's like very wary of them. So yeah, I texted Pam about that, and the goal right now is just to like get her used to different types of surfaces like gravel, and there's some mulch pretty close to the house that I think I can go walk her like in a playground and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I would say the stopping and the planting and just like not wanting to move on walks, that's kind of been an ongoing thing.
Have you changed directions on her when she does that?
Yeah, I've tried to pivot too, and it's just like I don't know. The first time it happened, it was on like the longest walk ever. So it was like the first beautiful day we had. So it was the longest walk of her life. And I was like, well, maybe she's just really tired. But then she does it, even if it's like a 15-minute walk. So pivoting, like anything, it just like even with the kibble in front of her nose, like sometimes she'll start to come, but it really seems to take a lot. So I don't know if maybe like I need to go back to what I used when she was smaller, like some, little bit of like cheese or something, like the like cheese whiz stuff. Maybe it just needs to be more enticing to her. But then I don't know if that's like reinforcing like it's a good thing. Like I don't know if that's kind of backwards.
Do a touch with it.
Yeah.
Do a touch with it, or give her a stand command, or even do a down something. Give her a command before you give her the higher value treat. Because then that way she's not associating, oh, I'm getting this really good treat while I sit and balk.
Right. It's like
I'm getting what I want.
Yeah.
So, but if you give her a different command, regardless of what it is, give her that higher treat. Green beans are great. Carrots are great because those are easy to keep in your pouch. Strawberries work. Those are kind of messy. Blueberries are good. Cucumbers work well. Those get kind of slimy though in your pouch too. I'm just trying to think of things quickly. Even if you have like cut up pieces of chicken, that'll work. So yeah, definitely up that value when that happens. So that way you have it in your pouch for you. Just, put a couple pieces on the other side or however many you think you need and go from there. And she'll start to learn that, okay, cool. As long as I keep walking, I'll get a higher value treat. So what you want to do is when you're doing your regular walk before she walks, slip in one of those high value treats. So you want to keep her on her toes because she's not going to know when that treat is coming, when she's going to get that high value. So try that and see how that works for you.
Yeah, that sounds good. The other thing, so a question I have, and this isn't something I've texted you about yet, but with the park command, like she always, like anytime she goes outside, she like pees right away. Like she's like our fastest peer. She'll just like go for it. But she's not to the point where like if I give the command, she doesn't just like immediately like poo. So I like at her age, I don't know if that's something like I'm behind on or
how old is she?
She's about she'll be 8 months toward the end of April.
Okay. Usually what happens is when I take them out in park, mine usually goes on a 20-foot lead, but when they're a puppy, I take them on their regular leash. I extend it the full way and I plant myself, but I will turn in a circle for them. So they know this is as far as you're going. You better find your spot within this time frame. And my dogs have learned to pretty much park on command. I take them out. They'll kind of sniff around, find their perfect spot. And I'm like, okay, it's time to park. Come on and finish and find your spot. And then they'll go. So try that and see if that helps a little bit for you too. Other than that, she may not park on command, but she's going to learn, hey, when I'm outside and I don't have my vest on, I can go to the bathroom. So when they're in training, when they're in harness, their harness comes off of them when they go park too. So they know when that harness is off, okay, I finally get to park. So, because they're learning that when they're in harness, when they're in their vest, they're not they're not supposed to go park.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
had one of my puppies that would do a walk and pee, so
Yeah.
it didn't matter whether
Yeah.
she had a
Yeah.
vest on or not. So,
Yeah, we have had that too. So, like, let's say, we're in the middle of a walk and she is starting to go to the bathroom. Like, do you just like quick take the vest off kind of thing or harness
if you
off?
can, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
if you can, try and get it off. But I mean, it does happen.
Yeah.
I swear to God, almost every once a week I have a vest on. When I have a puppy, I have a vest on, and they just stop and take a dump, and it's like, okay, thanks for letting me
Hmm.
know. So it does
Right.
happen.
Okay. Okay.
All
That's
right,
all I've
cool.
got. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, we'll move on to Kristen. You got to unmute though.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted.
Yes, you are.
Okay, good. Well, Grace is also in heat, so we've been dealing with that for a couple weeks. Yeah, at first she acted like she couldn't walk or move or anything with that diaper on. And now she's finally back to her normal self, I think, with the moving around. So she seems to have handled it pretty well, though. And we're ready for it to be done, though. Um, I think our biggest challenge is when we take walks. Like if I go on my regular route, she's perfect. If I go on a different route at all, she pulls a lot. So we've been working on just trying to get her to constantly heal and treat her the whole time she's healing, because otherwise she's off smelling every smell. So
Mhm.
that's our biggest challenge right now. She's doing pretty well when we go out.
Okay. Yeah, try to make a different route every day. So she's not on that same route. So what happens is if you always go the same route, your dog will start to, even if you're not stopping at a certain place and you normally stop there, your dog will start to go that way. So even when they're with a handler, once they're paired, they go different routes, even though they're going to the same place. So again, you're keeping your dog on your toes. And it'll get her familiar with different environments. Oh, okay, I got to be able to adapt and adjust. So, and she's probably like, oh, I'm out of my comfort zone. So that's probably what's going on. So yeah, try a different route. And maybe not every day to start, but build up to a different route every day. Even if it crosses part of the same, route that you normally do, it's fine if you go ahead and, oh yeah, you know what, we're going to go down this street today, and then we'll come back. So, and it just change it up for her a little bit. And it might actually really help her, again, with her surroundings and everything. And that'll help build that confidence too. All right, cool. Anything else? Who else do I gotta see who else I haven't asked? I think I've gotten everybody. So I think we're good. Does anyone have any questions or anything other than what we've gone over? All right, cool. I have a couple things that are coming up in the new manual, a couple questions that we've gotten from the raisers. So I was just going to kind of go over those a little bit. Puddles was one of the questions we had. Do our puppies walk through puddles? Yes, we want them to walk through puddles. Obviously, we'd like to avoid them, but sometimes puddles are not avoidable. So we have to teach them to walk through. Again, it's like going through different surfaces. Um, so that's one of the things. Manhole covers is another one. So a couple puppies, are balking on that as well. Again, different surfaces, try to get them familiar with that, try to get them to walk over it every time you see one, just so they have that confidence walking over. And you might have to let them walk up to it and smell it and look at it and investigate it. That's fine. It's kind of like when you're introducing something new, they're not familiar with it. They're walking down the road and then, hey, wait a minute, we got this little dip here and it's got a little bit different texture of it. Oh, am I supposed to walk on this or not? So and that's perfectly fine. Um, when our puppies are really little, when our puppies are crated, they are encouraging us to take the collars off to avoid snagging and a choking hazard, especially when they're puppies. Usually when they're older, it's fine. Anytime they're traveling in a crate in the car, go ahead and leave that collar on because you want to be able to hook the leash on to it. You don't want to be putting the collar on and then trying to hook a leash. And in the meantime, your dog's running out the door on you. So that was one of the new changes as well. Crate duration for a 3-month-old shouldn't be in a crate more than 4 hours. No more than 8 hours max for any age, unless it's overnight when they're sleeping, because sometimes they'll sleep 10, 11, 12 hours or however long they sleep once they go to bed for the night. Again, collars off when they go to bed too.
Okay.
Anyone having issues crating their puppy?
No.
Other than I think it was Pam. And we went over that, so she's okay. All right, cool. So one thing that is changing also too with our future leader dogs, as well as our leader dog moms, once they go into heat, they're supposed to be in quarantine. The new manual to the razors is not coming out until June, so it's okay if you're still taking your puppy on walks and still taking them out socially. Obviously, when they're out in public, always have their fancy pants on or panties or their diaper, whatever you want to call it. Make sure those are on because we want to make sure if you see like a loose dog, just turn around and go the other way because we don't want any issues because that other dog is going to be stimulated, whether it's a male or a female, by the fact that your dog is in heat. Obviously, we're not going to be taking our pets to a pet store when they're in heat or anything like that. But the change coming in June is they're going to be quarantined for 21 days or until that until they don't have to wear their diaper anymore. So those 21 days is usually when they're the most fertile and everything, and we don't want to have any accidents where we have a surprise litter. Audrey, you have a question.
I do because Willow's probably coming up on that like time in the near future. When you say quarantine, you just mean like keep them in your house and your yard, right? Like not away
Yes.
from like your other dogs. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
You
Cool.
can still go on a regular walk with them.
Okay.
You just don't take them on big outings or anything. I know before they used to be able to go to puppy classes and stuff, but I think they're discouraging that now too. I think a lot of them tend to get really clingy, really snuggly. Some of, their moods are all changing and everything. So that's okay.
And then,
Sure.
sorry, one more thing. So you mentioned like the fancy pants or all that stuff. Is there a way like we get that from somebody in Leader Dog, or do we just like go like a diaper and cut a hole? Like, what's the best way to go about that?
They actually have ones made for dogs.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So mine actually have ruffles on them for my dogs. I get really fancy. You can go on Amazon. They have even disposable ones too, but I usually use the reusable ones. Usually your dog's going to go about go 2 or 3 of them in a day. If you look at Erin, she's holding up one of Zoe's.
Yeah.
And it's got the little hole for their tail and everything. They absolutely hate it and everything. So usually when they're a little bit smaller, once they hit about 6 months old, because that's usually when they can go into heat, I will put those on my puppy just to get them acclimated to it and leave them on for like 10 minutes. And then, just take them off because they absolutely do hate them. They're not fans of them. I had Dakota one time and I forgot to take them off and sent her outside. She did her business, and I'm like, oh, great, bad mom. So yeah, make sure you take them off when they go park.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I will get that ASAP because
not a
could be
problem.
soon. Thank you.
All right, cool. Cues for when they go back for IFT. They did change those. They did remove a couple that aren't mandatory anymore. Obviously, we want our puppies to know their name. We want them to know touch, sit, come, down, drop it, the release cue of okay, so they know they're good to go, stay and heel. One of the things took off was around and under because people were teaching them differently. I don't teach my puppies around in the first place because I'm absolutely horrible at teaching it, and my dogs get really confused. So I've never done that because one of the things that the GDMIs will tell everybody as puppy counselors, they tell us to, if you don't know how to teach it, or we don't want you to teach it wrong, don't teach it at all because it's hard to undo what you've done when it's wrong. So if you're unsure about it and you ask us and we kind of explain it and walk you through it and you still don't get it, perfectly fine to not teach them that specific thing. So when like around and under and that, if you're having trouble with heel or something, that one of the ones that are the IFTs that are supposed to go back, we can go over it. If you're not getting it, we can also get Kim involved as well for some other ideas because maybe we're not explaining it to where you understand it. So that's perfectly fine. And the other thing was no puppy should ever eat kibble off the ground. So that's one of the biggest things that we want to teach our puppies is not to eat kibble off the ground. So even like originally I had you tossing it on the ground and then they were, to get them to go to the mat and stuff. If they're laying on their mat and you're dropping kibble down to them in between their feet, that's perfectly fine because you're not tossing it to a different direction. That is fine. I did clarify that with them as well. So we always try to teach our puppies as, we have them sitting next to us. We start far away. We'll toss a piece of kibble and we'll reward our puppy as long as they're staying seated next to us. And then we just move that closer and closer. Zoe's a pro at not touching anything. I know when I had her and Dakota takes medicine twice a day, every day for seizures. So I was getting her medicine out and everything. And, they're waiting for their cheese because they know that's their favorite thing. So it fell on the floor and I had two dogs literally sit there, just watch it roll right by. So it was great to know that because if you're blind and you do that and you got to take medication, you definitely don't want your dog going after that. So they actually got an extra piece of cheese because they didn't go after it. So I gave a really high reward. So does anyone have any questions on those changes or anything that are coming down? Cool. All right.
Andrea, I wondered if you wanted
Yeah.
to say something about just to give them a sneak peek on toys.
Oh yeah.
It is just so cool, you guys.
I know. Yeah, it is. We have some new toys that we can have. In the past, snuffle mats have not been allowed, but now we can use snuffle mats, which is really cool. It's really good enrichment for them. It gets that sniffing out for them. Yep, Pam's holding up one of the tough toys that they can have. That they can't rip apart. It's kind of like a stuffed animal, but it's not as long as they don't have squeakers in them. So yeah, that's kind of exciting. They get a little bit more new toys and stuff. So, and they're allowed to have balls as long as they're, I think it was 3 inches in diameter and bigger.
Mm.
So they can't have anything small. They can't have tennis balls. And obviously, you want to make sure you supervise them when they have balls. If it's something small that fits in their mouth. If it's a bigger one that they have to push with their nose, that's fine. That can be out all the time. My dogs have a soccer ball that they have in the house, so that we play with. So the only time they see tennis balls with me is when we're playing a game. And then as soon as we're done, I pick them all up and I put them all away so they can't have them. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We got some new toys and they have pictures of them in there and everything. And they tell you the brands that you can have and stuff. So not everything is Nylabone. They actually even took pictures of when to throw a toy away when it's time to retire it, when they've been chewed on too much. So it's really cool. So once it comes out in June, if anyone has any questions, can't download it or anything, we can definitely get it to you.
And something I wanted to say too, Andrea, is like I know Mavis is that that bitey thing. This really did help. The
Mhm.
Tuffy toys are pretty cool. There's a round one. They have a squeaker, and they're not crazy about squeakers. Leader Dog isn't, but they're a more subtle squeaker. But kind of look at the Tuffies.
Mhm.
But like with Georgie, I used to put this in her mouth all the time because she would bite at my legs. So I'm like, oh my gosh. That was helpful. This one right here, this is an outward hound, and this is something that my dogs carry around too. But you can also put their kibble in here.
Mhm.
Baby puppies, they can't really get it. I mean, not very well anyway. At 11 weeks, um, Lasso is beginning to get the idea of this, and he's figured out if he puts it over, it comes out. But there's usually a couple left in there. But this is a great. It's an outward hound. It's a great toy too. So, but they said it was okay to give you a couple of toys, like Andrea said. With the manual coming out there, they'll go into a very big explanation about, there's still a lot of things they cannot have, but
Yeah.
those were a couple of examples of
Yeah.
things that they
Because
can have.
us as counselors have been asking for a long time, well, can our puppies have this? And they were like, no. But
Yeah,
now
it's
that
so
we have a
nice.
new canine development person in the canine center that actually runs the kennels and everything, when the puppies go back for IFT, she's like, oh no, we do a whole lot of different enrichment. And she kind of had them revamp it so our puppies, would come into IFT and they're not getting all these new toys barraged at them along with all the other changes and new stuff. So it's kind of neat to see that. So it's really good to see that progression. So if anyone doesn't have any more questions or
I got
anything,
one
we can.
question.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
So Lucky's 10 weeks old. At what point do I change his amount of food? So I'm at 3/4 of a cup 3 times a day. He
I'm
tells
gonna
me
have
he's
to look.
starving to death.
Yeah, I'll have to look and double check for you because
Okay.
I haven't
Is
had
it
a little
somewhere in the
puppy in a long
manual?
time.
Okay. All
It
right.
is in the manual, but
Okay.
I'll double check in the new manual and see if, maybe the timeline has changed or anything.
Because
So,
once I take the treats out, I'm like, sorry, dude, man, you got shortchanged, Yeah, you've been treating all dang day, but
right, right.
here's a teaspoonful. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I'll shoot you an email
Yeah,
on that
Sherry, I'll
so
look.
that way
I,
you
I can
know.
do that, Andrea. I'll look into that and
Okay.
send that to
Okay.
you. They had already upped Lasso when I picked him up, so he's now on a cup and once a day, and then twice a day he is on 3/4. So
Okay.
they upped him. So I bet Lucky's getting close,
Yeah,
but
Yeah, I would
probably.
think
I'll look
so.
it up and get it
Yeah.
to you.
I mean, I've
All
still
right.
got a couple of fingers left, but yeah.
All right. Cool. Any
Funny.
other questions? All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop recording.